Hi, Kenzie.
Hi, Mylee.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mylee.
Okay. So, what makes a book a classic?
I think what makes a book a classic is when a book contains a good story, it has durability, recommendations, and can stand the test of time.
Will your contemporary ever become a classic?
I believe my contemporary book, Murder at Midnight, will become a classic because it has a strong conflict and withholds intriguing characters.
Okay. What were the conflicts in each of your books?
In my book, Murder on the Orient Express, Mr. Ratchet was murdered. In my book, Murder at Midnight, Mangus, the magician, was accused of magic, sent to prison, and was put on a death trial.
Okay. Who are the main characters in both of your books?
In my book, Murder on the Orient Express, the main characters are the Inspector Hercule Periot, Mr. Ratchet, M. Bouck, and Dr. Constantine. In my book, Murder at Midnight, the main characters are Mangus, Fabrizio, Delavina, and Benito.
Okay. What was the writing style of your author?
The writing style was a narrative because it tells a story.
What are three aspects comparing and contrasting your contemporary to your classic?
So the comparisons is that Fabrizio had to solve a mystery and the inspectors had to solve a mystery. There was an unknown accuser and then there was an unknown killer. Fabrizio didn't get any help because he was only a child. And then they had no help from police because they were stuck on a train track.
Okay. What were the settings of your books?
In Murder on the Orient Express, they were in Paris in 1931 through Syria on a train. And then in Murder at Midnight, they were in Pergamontio, Italy in 1490 at Mangus's house.
Okay. So what was the theme and the message of each book?
For Murder on the Orient Express, it's what comes around because M. Ratchet, he was a kidnapper of one of the Armstrong's childs who ended up killing the child and the wife. So since he did a bad thing, the people on the train decided to do something bad back to him. And then on Murder at Midnight, the theme is never give up because Fabrizio knew that he had no one on his side but never gave up to save his master.
Good job, I didn't laugh.
Hi.
Mylee, what makes a classic book a classic, and will your contemporary ever be a classic?
Okay, so a classic book to me has to have four strong elements: stand the test of time, strong theme, universal appeal, and an unforgettable story. I don't think Alibi Junior High will become a classic because of its basic characters and an easily forgettable story. Although it has an interesting plot, it doesn't appeal to anyone and everyone like To Kill a Mockingbird does.
Okay. What were the conflicts in each of your books?
In To Kill a Mockingbird, the main character, Scout, and her brother Jim live in a tough time of segregation and inequality. Their father is a white lawyer and is in a case to defend a black man. Their society disagrees, which therefore makes a surprisingly outrage. And in Alibi Junior High, the main character, Cody, has a dad who belongs to the CIA, which is a very secretive, undercover FBI job, which many people of the world don't agree with, so they want to kill his father.
Who are the main characters in both of your books?
So in To Kill a Mockingbird, it's Scout, and she's about age 8, and Cody in Alibi Junior High is 13.
What is the writing style of your author?
Narrative because the author tells a story.
What are three aspects comparing and contrasting contrasting your contemporary to your classic?
Well, they're alike because both of their fathers are loved by some and hated by some. They're also alike because they are both two very young kids living in a tough situation with harsh judgments about them and their family. And lastly, they both face a rough time at school adapting to a new environment of older and younger kids, along with teachers who aren't always cooperative. So they're different because they're different time periods. Like I said, To Kill a Mockingbird is in olden times of segregation, and Alibi Junior High is more present day. And then they also have very different themes, which I'll explain. And their personalities are very different. Scout kind of looks at things more positive, and she kind of she has more of a fun personality, whereas Cody is more like his dad, and he's kind of secretive and wants to blend in with everyone.
What were the settings of your books?
So in To Kill a Mockingbird, there were older times in Alabama, and then in Alabama Junior High, it's present time in Connecticut.
What were the themes and messages in each of your books?
So in To Kill a Mockingbird, it's actually the title because To Kill a Mockingbird is like a sin because they're perfectly fine and like they don't hurt anyone or hurt anything. So in the story, I'm not going to give it away, but someone dies that wasn't supposed to die because someone just killed them because of their color of their skin. So just like To Kill a Mockingbird, like there's no reason. And then for Alibi Junior High, never underestimate your opponent because a lot of times in the story when someone is fighting, like they'll underestimate their opponent and think that they're going to beat them right away, which makes them get defeated.
Good job.
Hey.
That was first time, guys.
No.
Emma, what were the settings of your books?
Oliver Twist took place in London, England in the early 19th century, and Fly Girl took place in 1941 during World War II.
What is the theme and message in each book?
Oliver Twist had no theme, but Fly Girl's theme was like identity because she had to choose between like herself and then like her friends, so she didn't tell them like who she really was.
What makes a classic book a classic? Will your contemporary book ever become a classic?
A classic book must have a strong theme, it must stand the test of time, a universal appeal, and people should want to reread it. And then I think Fly Girl will become a classic because it meets 3/4 of my criteria, and like it's a good book. Nice, good theme.
Okay. What was the main conflict in both books?
Oliver Twist got kidnapped, and he had to choose to like rob a house or like rob a house or like risk getting shot and go wake up the people of the house. And then in Fly Girl, the main character Ida had to choose to tell her friends about who she really was or keep it a secret and fight for her brother.
Emma, who are the main characters in your books?
In Oliver Twist and Mr. Brownlow, and then in Fly Girl is Ida Mae Jones, Lily, Patsy, Mama, and Thomas.
Okay. What is the writing style of the author?
Both books are narrative because it tells a story.
Narrative.
Yeah, same thing.
Okay. What are 3 aspects to compare or contrast your classic to your contemporary?
So they both struggle with money, like, and it's like an old time, so like they didn't have a lot of money, so that was like a main conflict. And then they have to make big decisions in both books, and then they both take place in the same time period. So,
Okay. Yeah. Nice.
Ooh, that was a good dab. Sorry, I can't do this right now. I was so ready that time. Oh my god.
Dang it. That's a blooper.
Bye!